now, so I've got to be like extra vigilant. And I don't want to go for a run at night, but during the day, my eyesight's a little bit hurt when brightness is out there.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where...
Can you wear shades, though? I mean, can you...
Prescription a little bit.
Okay.
If you see me out there, if you're chuckling, I'm trying to run. I'm a big runner. I run about 8 miles a day. But I've been inhibited a little bit health-wise, but I don't want to walk either. So with the Olympics, in honor of the Olympics happening this summer in Tokyo, we think, I've gotten into, and I look really awkward doing this, and I hate that I do this, I'm into that power walking. Have you, like the guy that I don't want to walk at like a leisurely pace, but I can't run because there's too much stop and go in New York, even though it's the weekend and there's a little less traffic on the weekend. Plus people are out with their babies, the strollers, the dogs.
Yeah.
And sometimes like literally 20 feet in front of me, I got to be a little careful, even though you would probably be able to see 60, 70 feet, no problem.
So I need you to put on a GoPro to record it because I need to see you moving up and down, power walking.
Well, you've got, the arms are going. And the feet are moving really fast and all that stuff.
Have you seen?
It's embarrassing.
You probably haven't seen the movie Are We There Yet by Ice Cube?
I don't know. I haven't.
Okay, but I'll have Alan pull up a clip. The guy, the actor in there, I can't think of his name. He was power walking. My kids think it's the funniest thing ever because he looks kind of strange. But you said you're running, but you don't have to be on the street. In New York, they got the jogging lanes like on on the West Side Highway side. Oh, can't you use that?
Yeah, I usually go by the water.
Okay.
And it's just one of those things that by the water, that's because the weather is nice. That's where you're going to see families. That's where the kids are like throwing the football. They got the soccer going. The kids are doing the karate. Yeah. And I just, the biggest thing you have to watch out for, and Brother Alan, if you could dig that out, I'd love to see it. I don't know what they call them. Again, I'm not a parent. You got kids. The little scooters. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We're like the little mini one.
The razor.
Yeah, yeah. And the adults
I got about 20 of them in the garage somewhere.
But it's the one for the little kids. Like the
little ones.
They don't pay attention to anything. They're just and like mom and dad is like 20 feet behind. Hey, look out! Like for me, it's too late because I can't see them because of my eyes until they're too close. So.
No, I hear you.
It could be a little bit of an accident waiting.
But I need that GoPro. Happen. I need to see you
power walking.
Yes, absolutely.
You can get a lot done. Power walking to Target and back. So will Trey be on Target today? His first pro day, he said it was his Super Bowl, March 12th. He actually had his pro day key before Zach Wilson, before Mac Jones, and before Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Right. The Trevor Lawrence is just on a level by itself because everybody was there and all that. But he had it first. He had a chance to make a first impression. He told Sports Illustrated, this is my Super Bowl. 27 teams were there. And by all accounts, he performed rather well. Today, a ton of teams will be there. Shanahan's going to be there. The entire Falcons contingent is going to be there. They're picking fourth. So you tell me, even though this isn't a newer phenomenon, you've always said pro days have been followed by second workouts. But after Justin Fields had his second pro day last Wednesday, Trey today, the most unknown of the 5 first rounders, if you will.
Yeah.
What is besides just balling out today, what does he really need to show today that he didn't on March 12th when everyone said, you look good, kid?
Well, I think because, again, pandemic, right? We're going to continue to say this as this thing unfolds. I think because of the uniqueness of where we're at right now with the pandemic, teams are not hitting everybody's pro days all at the same time. So it's kind of scattered all over the place. You have a coach or two here, one or two there. Maybe the general manager didn't get a chance to see him the first time around or whatever the case, the decision makers. Now with the San Francisco 49ers, for instance, the San Francisco 49ers essentially have scripted along with Quincy Avery exactly what they want to see out of Trey Lance, which means that what they do in their offense, they want to see his dropbacks, his movements, the things that they could envision him being for them while he's working out, even though all the other teams are going to be there. And that's totally legal and everything. And the interesting thing about it is if they had private workouts, then they could take you through that in their private workout. It won't be amongst the other teams. It'll just be you, Shanahan, and whoever else, right, that they would invite. 2 years ago when Sam Darnold was coming out, 3 years ago or whatever it was, when Sam Darnold was coming out at USC, I happened to go to the Denver Broncos private workout for Sam Darnold. So it was Sam, and it was Elway and Vance Joseph and that whole crew. It was just them, and that was it. And he was throwing to a couple receivers, and they wanted to put him through a private session. Well, this is different now, and now a couple other coaches will get an opportunity to see him. But Shanahan and John Lynch are the main two because this is the sweet spot at 3. The New York Jets could be there, but for everybody automatically assumes it's Wilson at 2. And now the Mac Jones train, as I said before I left last week, he will not be going 3. It's not going to happen. And I understand everybody believes that for whatever reasons, but you don't move up and give up all of that draft capital to go get a Mac Jones. It's got to be somebody like a Trey Lance who they just see and they go, if we don't get him, he's not going to fall to us because somebody else is going to get him. Or it has to be a Justin Fields in this situation. So it'll be fun to see. Too bad it won't be live, but we'll see some clips of it. And, I want to know what they really think about him. Like, I really want to know. Like, what is John and what does Shanahan think about him? Because you got a veteran guy like Jimmy Garoppolo who could sit there for 2 years, and he can learn under Jimmy G, much like Alex Smith was there as that somewhat bridge to Patrick Mahomes until Andy Reid said, you know what? It's about time. And you see it with young quarterbacks that have very little experience, which he's only had 17 games in his career as a starter, and not at the BCS level, but at the FBS level, which is a totally different level of competition. But when you're looking at this young man, you're not looking at the competition. We all know what the competition is. They got guys my size playing defensive line. They got guys your size chasing him. It's a different – we're looking at his skills, though. Can we envision him in our system delivering the football to our guys? And that's what they'll be looking at.
No doubt. We don't know exactly what Shanahan and Lynch will think of Lance, but here's what they're thinking with regards to Lance. You mentioned Quincy Avery. He was on our show last week, the quarterback coach essentially for Trey Lance and Justin Fields. Over the last couple of weeks, Lance has spent some time with John Beck. If you're a college football fan, you might remember that name. He actually played quarterback at BYU and coincidentally is also working with BYU's Zach Wilson. Beck essentially went to Shanahan and Lynch. They got together and said, tell me what you need to see from Trey Lance. Administer that workout. So essentially, Lynch and Shanahan have told Beck, who just got on board with Lance, this is what we want to see. And part of today's workout will be exactly what the 49ers have asked it and script. Last thing I want to say, I've said this a couple times before, but I don't think you can hammer this home enough with Trey Lance. All right, and Key said it. 17 games all against the FCS. Can't really look at the quality of competition. Have to look at